There is a cave in Romania that was sealed off from the rest of the planet for 5.5 million years. No light, no outside air. When humans finally broke through in 1986, they discovered an ecosystem that shouldn't exist. Spiders that evolved without eyes, creatures feeding on toxic gas, and air that would burn your lungs in seconds. This isn't a movie. You can find this cave on Google Maps right now. And that's just number one. I'm going to show you 8 places on this planet that break every scientific rule we thought we understood. By the end of this video, you'll realize Earth isn't just our home. It's an alien planet we've barely explored. And number 5 on this list, number 5 is happening right now, continuously, and it's visible from space. Stick with me. Movile Cave, Romania. In 1986, Romanian workers were scouting locations for a power plant near the Black Sea. They dug into the ground and accidentally punched a hole into a sealed cave system. What they found rewrote biology textbooks. Movile Cave had been completely isolated since the Pliocene epoch, 5.5 million years. The atmosphere inside is deadly to humans, only 7 to 10% oxygen compared to 21% in normal air. And it's thick with hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, and methane. One breath without protection, and you lose consciousness. 2 breaths and the hydrogen sulfide shuts down your central nervous system, causing instant respiratory failure. But life somehow thrived. 48 species have been identified inside, and 33 of them exist nowhere else on Earth. Spiders, isopods, leeches, all evolved without eyes because there was never any light to see. They don't rely on photosynthesis-based food chains like every other ecosystem we knew. Instead, bacteria oxidize sulfur and methane, a chemosynthetic food web that scientists, until this cave, had only theorized could sustain complex life. As of 2024, fewer than 100 people have ever been inside Movile Cave. Researchers enter through a sealed airlock wearing full hazmat breathing gear. They have a maximum of 5 hours before heat exhaustion sets in, because inside that toxic soup, the temperature is a stable, suffocating 25 degrees Celsius. It's a window into what life on a hostile alien planet might actually look like. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Now shift continents. Northern Tanzania. Lake Natron looks like a blood-red mirror stretching toward an active volcano. The water here reaches a pH of 10.5, almost as alkaline as pure ammonia. The temperature can hit 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. You've probably seen those viral photos, birds and bats appearing turned to stone. That's partly real. The lake's extreme sodium carbonate and salt chemically preserve animals that die in its waters, effectively calcifying them over time. But here's the fact that breaks your brain. Despite being a deadly chemical bath for most life, Lake Natron is the primary breeding ground for 2.5 million lesser flamingos. Their legs are covered in tough, scaled skin that resists chemical burns. They build nests on evaporated salt islands in the middle of the lake, surrounded by a caustic moat that no land predator can cross. Evolution found a loophole in hell, and flamingos took it. The Boiling River, Peru. Deep in the Peruvian Amazon, there's a river that actually boils. Not metaphorically hot, not warm geothermal springs. This is a 6.4 kilometer long river where the water reaches nearly 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. For centuries, local Ashaninka communities treated this river as a sacred, dangerous place. Western science dismissed it as legend. Until 2011, when geoscientist Andres Russo, who'd heard the stories from his Peruvian grandfather, finally documented it empirically. The wild part? There's no volcano nearby. The nearest active volcanic center is over 700 kilometers away. The water is heated by geothermal faults deep in the earth, pushing superheated water up through cracks. Animals that fall in are literally boiled alive in seconds. Russo documented frogs, small mammals, birds that slip from the trees and die instantly. You can stand at the riverbank and watch the steam rise. If you dip your hand in, you'll get third-degree burns in under 3 seconds. The door to hell, Turkmenistan. Let's go to Turkmenistan, Central Asia. In the middle of the Karakum Desert is a crater 70 meters wide and 30 meters deep that has been on fire continuously since 1971. Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas. The ground collapsed beneath their rig, swallowing their equipment into a massive sinkhole. Methane started leaking out in dangerous concentrations. Their solution? Light it on fire, expecting it to burn off in a matter of weeks. That was 55 years ago. The fire has never stopped. Local people call it the door to hell. At night, the glow is visible for kilometers across the empty desert. You can walk right up to the edge. There are no railings, no safety barriers, and feel the 400-degree heat blast against your face while watching fire dance across the crater floor below. In 2013, explorer George Karunis descended into the crater on ropes to collect soil samples from the bottom. He found bacteria living in the extreme heat, extremophiles that were previously unknown to science. A man literally rappelled into a burning hell pit, and the first thing he found was life. Now, everything I've shown you so far, caves, toxic lakes, boiling rivers, eternal fires. These are all terrifying. But number five is something you could fly over today. It's happening continuously. It's visible from space. And if you were standing beneath it right now, you would be dead in under 1 second. Don't click away. This is the one that will make you question whether Earth belongs to us at all. Catatumbo Lightning, Venezuela. At the mouth of the Catatumbo River, where it meets Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, something happens that meteorologists still cannot fully explain. For up to 260 nights a year, a continuous lightning storm ignites the sky. We're talking 28 lightning strikes per minute, over 1.2 million strikes annually. This isn't a passing storm. It's a nightly electrical event so consistent that local fishermen historically used it as a lighthouse. Visible from 400 kilometers away, pilots call it the Maracaibo Beacon. The science: warm trade winds from the Caribbean collide with the cold Andean mountain air. Add massive quantities of methane rising from the swamps and oil deposits below, and you get a near-permanent charge differential in the atmosphere. The result is the highest density of lightning on planet Earth. Guinness World Record certified. And here's the detail no one tells you. This lightning produces more ozone than anywhere else on the planet. It doesn't reach the stratosphere to fix the hole. It pumps an incredible amount of this vital gas into the atmosphere nightly. This single river mouth is Earth's largest natural ozone generator. It's as if the planet created its own atmospheric repair mechanism and plugged it into the most electrically active point it could find. Blood Falls, Antarctica. Antarctica. Taylor Glacier. There's a 5-story tall, blood-red stain pouring out of the ice. And for over a century, no one knew why. Australian geologist Griffith Taylor discovered the falls in 1911. Early explorers assumed red algae caused the color. They were absolutely wrong. In 2017, researchers using radio echo sounding radar finally traced the source. A subglacial lake trapped 400 meters beneath the ice, sealed off from the surface for roughly 2 million years. The water in this lake has 3 times the salt content of seawater. It's so saline, it cannot freeze, even at sub-zero temperatures. When this ancient brine seeps through a fissure in the glacier and hits open air, the iron in the water instantly oxidizes. The result is the blood you see pouring across the white ice. That oxidation reaction is happening in real time, in front of your eyes. And inside that brine, living microbes. Organisms that have survived with 0 light, 0 oxygen, and near 0 nutrients for 2 million years. Sealed in a liquid tomb beneath an ice sheet. NASA studies this site actively as a model for how life might exist in subsurface oceans on Europa and Enceladus. The Great Blue Hole. Number 7. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. A circular sinkhole 300 meters across and 125 meters deep. Jacques Cousteau declared it one of the top dive sites on Earth. But here's what he didn't tell the public. At roughly 90 meters down, there's a thick layer of hydrogen sulfide. Below that layer, the water is completely devoid of life. An underwater dead zone. And on the floor, a literal graveyard of conch shells and dead marine creatures that drifted in, suffocated, and never left. Lake Karachay, Russia. Number 8. Lake Karachay, Russia. I saved the most dangerous for last. In the 1950s and 60s, the Soviet Union used this small lake as a dumping site for high-level nuclear waste. Standing on the shore for just 1 hour would deliver a lethal radiation dose. In 1967, a drought dried out parts of the shore, and radioactive dust blew across 23,000 square kilometers, exposing 500,000 people. The lake was eventually filled in with concrete and soil by 2015. It's still one of the most contaminated places in existence. A lake so deadly, its own shoreline became a weapon. Every single one of these places exists right now. On the same planet where you're watching this video. We build cities, highways, coffee shops, and we convince ourselves we've conquered nature. But Movile Cave hasn't seen sunlight in 5 million years. The door to hell hasn't stopped burning in half a century. And somewhere under 400 meters of Antarctic ice, microbes are alive in total darkness, waiting for nothing, surviving everything. We've explored roughly 5% of the world's oceans. We've mapped the surface of Mars in higher resolution than our own ocean floors. The scariest fact isn't that these 8 places exist. It's that there are hundreds more we haven't found yet. And some of them, right now, are doing things science cannot yet explain. If you want a part 2, 8 more places that rationally should not exist, hit like and comment the word cave. It tells YouTube this is what you want to see. Subscribe and keep watching more interesting facts.